Well, let's get more on this with Mohan Yelisetty. He is Associate Professor of Resources Engineering at Monash University and co-founder of Critical Minerals Consortium. He joins us from Melbourne. Thank you very much for being on Al Jazeera. First of all, can you just give us a little bit of context to this? How big a deal is this and how much impact could it have?
Yeah, thanks, Tom, for having me in the show. And it's lovely to talk to you. Yeah, as a Critical Minerals co-founder, Critical Minerals Consortium co-founder, we have been looking at all these geopolitics and how the price escalations have happened in the past of various commodities. So just to give a context, a mineral is deemed to be critical when there is a risk of supply, and such a restriction or such a consequence, such a restriction would have enormous consequence, for example, to the number of industries. For example, gallium and germanium are the two candidates that we are talking about. So they are required for a number of different components, for example, from integrated circuits to laser diodes, light emitting diodes, and solar cells. And for a number of those high-tech industries, they are very, very crucial ingredients.
Yeah, so if they are restricted, I mean, what sort of impact is that going to have on manufacturing semiconductors in particular?
Yeah, because as they are, in many cases, they are irreplaceable. For example, of course, there are, for example, if you talk about solar cells, indium phosphate is considered as an alternative option, but there are, in a number of cases, the options are very limited in terms of which can substitute some of these important ingredients that go into manufacturing. One, when you have restricted supply, that means people have to pay price premium to get source these materials. That means the components and the finished product prices are going to go up.
How soon?
Everyone is already.
Sorry to interrupt. How soon could we see an impact on prices for the everyday consumer?
So it does take a little while for these to be implemented. But now that China has decided in next couple of days these restrictions are going to come into force, that means already the struggling supply chains will further become a bit more stringent in that maybe already there's a short supply of these materials. So anytime in the next couple of months, people would feel the pressure of the restricted supplies.
As we heard from our correspondent just before, that this could be the beginning of restrictions. What else could China do? What else do they have up their sleeve, do you think?
Yeah, if you look at majority of the raw material supply chains, irrespective of where they are mined. For example, if you look at lithium, Australia produces about world's 50% lithium ore, right? Ore concentrate. And that goes back to China. About 90% of the downstream processing occurs in China. So that's where China has foresaw that this is going to be the next boom, and then they invested heavily into these processing industries and also the supply chains. So if you look at rare earths, today China controls about 60% of them. And likewise, platinum group of minerals. Now, if you look at gallium itself, about 80% of their supplies are controlled by China, and germanium about 60%. So majority of the stake of these supplies are controlled by China. That means, people could feel heavy pressure on the supply chains in the coming months.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time and your insight. That is Mohan Yelisetty, co-founder of Critical Minerals Consortium. Thank you.